and 34-year-old. Text your single friends back. We literally have to entertain ourselves all day. Just me and my brain. 7 days a week, we have to find ways to entertain ourselves. And not all days look like this. Just text your single friends back. Trust me. Tips.
Yeah, and this is why these chicks that are still single over the age of 30 remain single, is because a lot of the friends that they're hanging out with are just like them, right? As they say, especially in self-development, you are the 5 people, the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So if these chicks are all riding these top-level dudes on the dating apps who have no intention of ever committing to them, but just using them for what's between their legs, that's how they spend their time, right? Big shocker, big shocker. Enjoy this lifestyle, ladies. Okay, next clip.
I got divorced at 30. So one could say that I was ahead, but I wouldn't really call it ahead. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of people think that like getting married is a destination. You know, like, okay, you've arrived. You're successful in life. And
It's the first step.
it's not a destination at all. Life just continues on with all its juicy greatness and shittiness, you know? I get the kid thing. The clock ticking is a real thing. But I had my last at 37. I think the thing is the clock ticks a lot freaking longer than you think, you know? And I know there's these terrible stats about risk, but
It's because they're true.
I think if you take good care of yourself and you're healthy, and you know, I loved being an older mom.
So she's responding to a comment that basically is asking for her advice. And I've always told you, ladies, if you want advice about dating or dudes or how to keep a guy and not become one of these broken females on, the online dating apps, the last person you should listen to is another female, especially another female over 30, and especially a divorced female over 30. Why would you take advice from this person? It's like a person wanting to lose weight and then asking a fat person who has gone on nothing but yo-yo diets and has never been able to lose weight, asking them, like, hey man, how should I lose weight? That person's gonna be like, well, you know what? Don't worry about the weight right now. Just eat those candy bars, man. Just load up on the pizza and, the bean burritos and, do all this stuff and then worry about that later. No, don't take advice from somebody that you yourself do not want to be like. This is just basic life advice that you get when you're in high school, for Pete's sakes. If you don't want to be like them, don't listen to them and definitely don't hang out with them. So this woman is saying I'm single at 30, right? Not her, but the woman who's asking for advice in this little pop-up here. Says, I'm single at 30. So she's a single 30-year-old woman. Feels like I'm running out of time. Feels like I'm running out of time to get married and have kids. Any advice? Well, first of all, I would tell her, you know what, sister? You are out of time because you're 30. And you know what? There's the 20-year-old version of you running around out there getting men that you can no longer get. So what I would advise to you at 30 is not to waste any more time. Stop listening to your dumb girlfriends, your single besties that can't lock down any dude whatsoever, are riding the CC. Stop listening to those bitches. And instead, you know what you do? You go out there and you start socializing and you lower your standards a bit before you do anything else. You know what, sister? Don't raise your standards. You got to drop them a bit because you know what? You made a mistake. You waited a little too long. But hey, it's not all over just yet. You still have a little bit of time. Just lower your standards a bit, right? However, the longer you wait, the more you're going to have to drop your standards. This is why we don't want to waste time, right? So now that you're 30, guys don't like that, FYI. Guys don't like that word. That number 30. It's kryptonite to high value guys, so you could cross them off the list. Okay, all they're gonna do if they come around is just use you for sex if you're a good looking chick still. So you don't want to deal with those guys, because if you do deal with those guys, thinking, like a lot of these damaged, broken females, that you can land one of them, all you're going to do is rack up your body count. You're going to lose your ability to pair bond, and you're going to become more and more resentful towards men, because they're not going to want to commit to you because you've had too many dudes between your legs. So no, don't do that. Okay, don't do that. Instead, lower your standards. Start socializing a bit, getting involved in activities. You know what you should do, really? If you want like an instant boyfriend, start tapping your friend zone. Because I know you have one, girl. I'd be like, these dudes that were just in love with you back in the day, that are still hitting you up and still messaging you. Those dumbasses. Sorry that they're blue pill and dumbass, but you know what? That's your best shot if you want a husband. You tell that dude, like, hey, I think I want to give this a chance. You pick the best dude out of your friend zone, and I'm sure you have dozens of dudes in that friend zone, right? Pick one of those guys, the best one that you connect with the most, that you just have the best time with the most, and that is, you're somewhat attracted to, right? Pick that guy and start trying to build something with him. Okay, I'm sorry, he's not going to be the Chad of the yesteryears. He's not going to be the Pookie, the guy that used to come over with the six-pack abs. He's not going to be that dude anymore. Sure, he might have a little bit of a belly, might have a little bit of a dad bod, but you know what? And he might not be white collar, maybe he's a blue collar dude. He doesn't have his own business. He's not a freaking doctor, or he doesn't have a partnership at a law firm. But you know what? The guy works hard, right? The guy works hard. Maybe he's a bricklayer. Maybe this guy's, working with his hands. So what? He works hard. He loves you. He cares about you. He's still in your life. That guy's not going to go anywhere. If you have kids with that guy, I can almost guarantee that dude will come home to you every night. He will cherish you. He will cherish his kids. He will cherish his family. Just treat him right, and he will treat you right. Okay? Don't have this shiny object syndrome, or don't constantly fantasize like the alpha widows do about the guys you used to get in the past. Just appreciate this guy for who he is. And you know what? You'll live a happy life. That's the truth. That's how you get married, have a long-term relationship. If you're 30 and you feel like the party's over, and which it kind of is, right? Just, truthfully, because there are the 20-year-old versions of you running around out there that are now the prize for these high-value guys, right? You had that chance in your 20s, you blew it, you took bad advice from Oprah and whoever else you were listening to on the tube. That's okay, right? You could fix this if you just lower your standards, just, look into your friend zone and pick one of those nice dudes that you pissed on for a long time. I would apologize to that person too and be like, sorry, but I really want to give this a shot. I was so foolish. I didn't notice you before. I'm sorry. I'm stupid, but I want to make this up to you. I want to try this with you. Let's do this. Me and you right now. That's how you do it. And you know what? That's your best chance for landing a good guy, getting married, and living a happy life. It's either that, or you listen to these broken females' advices, and then you go out there on the dating apps, to the clubs, the venues, and you compete with the 20-year-old version of you until you're into your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and well beyond. And you stay on these apps miserable. You stay in these venues miserable, competing against women who are fresh out of high school. Good luck with that. But that's the honest truth. And these women don't want to hear that, right? They just want to hear lies. So they listen to these broken females who will do that. Just feed them lies. Just feed them lies. And then next thing you know, they wake up, they're 40, 50, still single, still getting ran through, never landed a husband. All the dudes in their friend zone are now married. Now they have no options at all. So yeah, keep taking your sister's advice here from the sisterhood. Okay, one more.
We need to talk about being single in your late 20s and early 30s because it's ghetto out here. The one thing that I absolutely hate is having conversations with people who are in long-term relationships or who are already married about dating. I hate this topic, and it gives me so much anxiety. Conversation usually goes like this. Do you want to be married? Yes. Okay, so what are you looking for? And then I tell them what I'm looking for. And the response is always how I need to either lower or adjust my desires and expectations in order to be married or find a partner.
Exactly the advice I just gave in the previous clip that we watched. But again, these women do not want to hear the cold, hard truth. Instead, they want to hear horse manure. They want to hear lies. They want to be sold a bill of goods. That's what they want. They don't want the truth. They want lies.
It's giving settle. It's giving settle.
Yeah.
It's getting settled for less. I don't think the people who have these conversations with me are intentionally trying to crush my self-esteem.
No, they're trying to be honest with you.
Trying to set fire to my hopes and desires and expectations, but you kind of are. Because you're in a roundabout way telling me that the things that I'm hoping for and desire aren't attainable to me for some reason.
You notice how men never complain about this, guys? Like, if you're telling your buddy, like, who is obsessed with going for, you know, dime pieces and model-looking women, and he's, say, kind of her size, and, you know, maybe he's a bit overweight or a bit pudgy and doesn't really have the best job and doesn't have any finances, but yet he wants model-looking women, you would tell him, dude, you're wanting women that are out of your league. You need to either work on yourself or just lower your standards, right? But that would take, for him to do anything about it, that would take a little something called accountability, which almost no modern women have. Modern women do not have any accountability at all. This is how they could spend their 20s getting ran through by different dudes and then hit their 30s and 40s and expecting the same high-value dude to give them the same offer that they were, you know, 30 years ago back in the 90s. No, that offer is off the table because now you're broken, damaged, fractured. You know what I mean? But I don't hear guys complaining when people tell them to lower their standards. I don't hear guys complain about it. It's just these chicks, right? It's just these chicks. They're like children. You just can't be honest with them. You just can't be truthful with them.
And most of these conversations, like I said, are with people who are married or are in long-term relationships. So
yeah, they're giving you great advice. They're married in long-term relationships. Lower your standards a bit.
You have the partner that you wanted, that you chose, maybe even that you settled for, but it was still your choice, so why can't I have that? And another thing, I'm a woman of faith.
Good.
I'm not saying that God is going to choose my partner for me. He may, if I ask him to.
If I ask him to. That's really narcissistic. I really can't stand that as a Catholic myself. I don't like it when these women use God as an excuse or use God as the reason for why they haven't met somebody yet. Okay? As it says in the Bible, God helps those who help themselves. Okay? Simple as that. God helps those who help themselves. So in order for God to help you, you have to start taking action yourself. So maybe taking some of your friends' advice that maybe God put in your life, right? To help you have some more clarity on this issue. Like, hey, maybe you do need to lower your standards a bit. Maybe working on your health, your diet, maybe fitness, losing a few pounds, right? Looks maxing, as we tell, so many of the Blackfield guys tell each other. You got to looks max, which I'm not against, by the way. I believe in looks maxing. At least without surgery, the natural looks maxing. But these women, they're not like telling each other, hey, you got to looks max, you got to lose some weight, yeah, you got to work on your personality. No, it's just give me, gimme, 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 gimme. Why? Because it's me. I deserve it.
But I do have this submitted to him, and I'm trusting him to bring the right person into my life at the right timing.
So now she's putting all on God's hands to bring him into her life at the right time. Oh my goodness, man. This is not God's job, lady. Okay? God has other things to worry about than bringing you a man into your life that you don't want to settle for. Don't want to settle. He has to be high value.
It's like he's done with everything else. So when I'm communicating a desire that I have, a hope and expectation, and it's met with the response that it needs to be adjusted, it's not just a matter of a relationship, it is a matter of faith, for me at least. And also, I know that there's some aspect to it that does involve age and people's expectation, or society or culture's expectation of what your life should look like in your late 20s or early 30s as a woman, but that's being now projected onto me. And
Yeah, because almost every single woman on the planet that is still unmarried and over 30, people automatically just assume she can't hang on to a man. You know why people assume that? Because she can't hang on to a man. You know what proof we have of that? She hasn't been able to hang on to a man. Right? And that she slept around. Because we all know these women are not sitting at home like watching movies on the weekends waiting for the husband to come into their lives. No, these chicks are out at the clubs, the bars, going on Tinder dates, you name it. Going over, like having, being in situationships. No, we know what these chicks are doing in their 20s that lead up to them being single in their 30s.
I do feel like sometimes people are telling me to accept less because of my age or where I am in life.
Yeah,
and
they're being honest.
It's not that hard to find a husband, but it is hard to find the right one.
See?
And I'm waiting and trusting God for the right
Oh
one.
my gosh, I can't stand these women doing that, putting our Lord, putting the responsibility on the shoulders of God. I mean, that is just so selfish, narcissistic, and unchristian, which she is claiming to be. That is not your job. I mean, you know what? When I pray, because I do pray at night, I pray before meals as well. I don't pray and go, hey God, I really want this red Lamborghini. This red Lamborghini that's, in the window at Beverly Hills Lambo. God, if there's a way, I don't do that, right? I don't ask for that. Oh God, I'm single right now. I'd really like a blonde with blue eyes that's 5'9", looks like a model, but is a really great person. Please bring her into my life. No, I don't do that, right? Because that's just not cool, man. That's not cool, right? I don't ask God for anything. The only time I ask for anything from God is if a family member's sick, if my dogs are sick, if they're not feeling well, or, even if I'm sick, I don't like to ask for me. I like to ask for other people or my animals or, even animals that aren't mine. I don't like to selfishly ask for things for me. I try to cure myself or help myself as much as I possibly humanly can. And if anything, I spend most of my time, when I'm praying, just thanking God. I'm thanking Him for this great life He gave me. Even when I had nothing and I didn't have a pot to piss in and I had no money, I was broke. I was living in my 92 Jeep Cherokee. I was saying thank you. Thank you for my health. Thank you for the fact that I'm not in a wheelchair. Thank you for the fact that I've got 2 eyes, 2 legs, right? I was very thankful. I wasn't sitting there asking for things that, it's just really selfish, guys. Unbelievable. But let's finish this up.
So y'all, if you feel me on this, if you've had experiences like this, if you get where I'm coming from, please let me know that I'm not alone in the comments. And if you're like me and you're not entertaining a bunch of different people because you're trusting God to bring the right person into your life, we're in this together.
Entertaining a bunch of people, aka sleeping around with a bunch of people. Good Lord. As always, drop your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you would like to share, anything I might have missed, please drop them in the comments below. As always, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell for me as well. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Really appreciate it. And for you guys who want to support my work and everything I'm teaching you here, the best way to do that is just jump into 7 months of mastery, where, guys, I'm teaching you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, baby. And I'm talking about women who are under the age of 30 and are not broken, fractured, or damaged yet. Right? Talking about good women, virtuous women, women who still have purity. I teach you where to find these girls, how to cold approach them, exactly what to say to them even to bring them into your life. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it. And it's really easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.